have the video ready. I
Oh,
don't have
no.
the video ready. I don't have the video ready. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unsolicited with Sam and Jordyn. I am Sam. This is Jordyn, and I'm officially in my new spot. I'm very excited about it. I got to fill in these walls. They're a little brown and bare, but new spot, new recording spot. This is the only spot you guys will be seeing me in now. Unfortunately, R.I.P. to the old place.
We've officially made the transition. It's a new chapter. New year, new us.
I know. And my mom even called me today and she was just like, "So you're not using that anymore, right? I can take it down." And I was like, "I guess." I was like, "Yeah, even though I've been using it since 2018. I've
That's
been using it for
insane.
5 years. I've been using that same like sporty background." So,
Oh, no, that's so sad. It's a
like,
sad day, but it's a
yeah.
good day because new
Oh, yeah.
beginnings.
Indeed. We got a lot of new beginnings. We're in the middle of January. How's your January been so far?
Awful.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I feel like I'm literally getting wrecked right now.
Weren't you didn't you not feel well earlier this week?
Oh, no, it's been a mess. I was really sick, not really sick, but like really under the weather a couple weeks ago, and I pushed through it. This week, I think I had a sinus infection because like I was nauseous and then I was congested and then I was coughing and then I had a throbbing ear thing. I was like, do I have an ear infection? But that went away way too quick. Like it's just been one thing after another. And I've been so busy. The Eagles suck. January hasn't been the greatest.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping now that the Eagles have officially ripped the Band-Aid off and put me out of my misery, that things are going to start to move in the right direction.
It's like you don't have to like worry anymore.
Exactly. Like my
It's done.
anxiety gone. Now I can just enjoy. We're going to have a little bit more of a football talk later, so I'll tell you what my teams that I'm rooting for are now when we get there. But and also I have a crippling need for a puppy, for a dog. It is genuinely eating me alive whenever I spend more than like 2 hours in my apartment at a time, which is often because I live here and I inhabit it. But no, anytime I'm alone in my apartment for like extensive period of time, literally the only thing I can think about is like how much I want a dog. And I've looked into training. I've looked into getting the grass patch for my patio. So if there's an emergency, I've done all the math. Like I am like so prepared. However, I do work 9 to 5 in person and I live alone. So I'm like, how am I going to train a dog by myself? Also, baseball season starts in a couple weeks, not a couple weeks, but in the next 2 months. And then I'm going to be traveling all the time. And I do have family and friends that have all said, like, if you get a dog, we'll take him the weeks that you go visit Brian. Like everyone has been lending a helping hand, but it's just such an important decision. And I just want to make sure I'm like 100% in the right place to do it. But the day it happens is going to be the greatest day of my entire life.
I feel ya. I have been fiending for a dog.
You've been fiending for years, right?
For years, yes. Because my old dog passed away 4 years ago. So like it's been quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got her, it was like 6 months after my other dog had passed away too. So like it had been a very long time since I'd not had a dog at all. And I now live with 2 cats that I inherited. One of them is like my true son. Like I'm like this animal thinks I am its mother. And the other one, I call him my stepson because he was like a failed foster. Like he wasn't supposed to live with us, but now he lives with us because the only person in the world that he trusts is Michael. So it's actually very sweet. He's still very skittish.
Cute.
We have like yin and yang cats. Like one cat is like a huge people person. Like the second people come around, he's like I want to spend every waking moment with you, and the other cat you will not see at all. Like, in fact, one time we lost him, and it's not a very big house, so I was like, where could he possibly have gone? He was behind the washer machine, so we had to, like, fish him out of behind the wash it was a whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
But this is actually the first time I'm recording and there's animals in the house. And Jordan just saw before we started recording all of the things I was just having to do beforehand. There's bags, they're trying to get in the bags. He's running around, but now he's sleeping like a little angel. And that's the only time I like him. So
So cute. I'm not, whenever people are like, are you a cat or a dog person? I am very much a dog person, but I'm not like against cats. I have no experience with cats whatsoever. My mom is deathly allergic. So like I can't, and it's so funny because wait, my sister's here. Fact check, Spencer. Didn't mom and dad have cats?
Yeah.
And mom was deathly allergic.
And she didn't know why she was so sick.
Oh, so my mom and dad adopted way back when, because living together,
right.
adopted 2 cats. And my mom was like sick all the time. And she was like, what is happening to me? And I guess
No.
she didn't know. And I guess I don't know the whole backstory, but apparently she found out that she was allergic and then they had to get rid of the cats because she was like dying.
That's a little sad.
It's so sad. And now, like, because my mom does interior designs and kitchens and stuff. Hit her up if you're interested in the area. No, she can do global. She's nationwide. Hit up my mom.
Universal.
Yeah, anywhere you are,
Intergalactic.
she will do your kitchen. But where was I going with this? Oh, she's in people's houses all the time. So whenever she will walk into someone's house to like get a measurement, and if they have cats, her eyes will swell. She'll be crying. Like it's that bad. So I've like never really been around them, and I can never get one because I don't want to do that to my mother.
Do you know if you're allergic to cats?
I don't think I am.
Okay.
Because I've like been like Robbie has cats and I'm always at their house and it's never been an issue. So I think I'm fine. Thank God.
Well,
I am allergic to Christmas trees.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
See, the way my mom got sick around cats, every Christmas I would get like a sore throat, runny nose for like from the moment we got the tree. And we realized it after years. I must have been like 12 or 13 when we finally like connected it. We were like, oh my God, it always happens when we get the tree and it stops when we throw the tree out or when it dies.
Oh my God.
So I was like, Mom, so can we get a fake Christmas tree? And she was like, no, I love the real ones.
Next time you should be like, hey Mom, look, I got a cat.
That is going to be the perfect karma.
Yeah. Well, one day we will get our dogs, but unfortunately, you'll probably get one sooner than me because I can't get a dog, unfortunately, until these cats no longer exist.
Yeah. Wait, so if you were to get a dog today, what would be your dog breed?
I'm always flip-flop between 2.
Okay.
I feel like many people, when they see me, like, they're like, you would have a golden retriever. Like, that is the dog that you would have. I think I give off a lot of golden retriever energy.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the vibe. But I adore, like, bully breeds, like pit bulls, the mastiffs, things like that. I was so close. Like, this was, like, 2 years ago. I was just, like, on Pet Finder or something,
Why
and
do I remember this?
Yes, I think I'm pretty sure I told you, and I found what's called a Cane Corso, which is an Italian dog, and they're freaking huge, and at first I was like, "Oh my god, she's so cute, she was so little." I think her name was, like, Gigi or something, or, like, Giovanna, something adorable, and what brought me in was she had the same birthday as me, and I was like, "Oh my god," like, and she was, like, 6 weeks old, less than 2 months old. I was like, and my dad was like, pull the trigger, do it, but like it's your responsibility. And I was like, but what if Michael and I move in together, which is what happened. I was like, I can't bring this dog with me, I can't leave it with my parents, like what am I going to do? And then I made the adult decision and didn't do it, but I wanted her so bad because I want big dog privilege. I want to walk around at 10 o'clock at night and like not have to worry about somebody attacking me because I have this big ass fucking dog. even if it's not vicious, you know, it's just like the presence of them.
Yes. Yeah, no, if you would have asked me like what dog would Sam get, I was gonna say a golden retriever or a lab of some
Yes.
capacity.
Because I used to have a lab.
Yes, I think that's probably why I associate them with you.
Yeah.
But no, I love pitties. And you know, I probably should get a big dog. However, I won't.
What kind of dog would you get?
I am very torn. So the doggies that are still mine, but just live at my mom's because they're all of ours. That literally my whole heart and soul, I stop by to see that. Like literally I'll have a bad day and I'm like, I'm just going to stop by and hug the puppies. They're both Pomeranian Husky mixes. So they're Pomskis. The one is like 35 pounds. Dakota's huge. She's like a full Husky.
Yeah.
And they shed so much. So I'm like, I don't really want that in the apartment. But it's tough because I do love like their personalities and everything. And then I love the mini dachshunds. I love the long hair mini dachshunds.
And they don't shed.
They don't shed. And I feel like it would be the perfect apartment dog.
Let me tell you, it is because my cousin and his husband were still living in Brooklyn in an apartment and they adopted a mini dachshund and his name is Pilot. And because my cousin's husband's father was a pilot, he retired. He's not dead. He's just
I was a little worried. I was going to ask.
Yeah, but they named him Pilot and he is just the easiest dog. He is so sweet. He doesn't even want to get up early and like go pee. Like he would wake up at like 9-10, like be like,
no, that's what everyone says. I've seen that's like a universal thing with dachshunds. Watch, the one I end up getting will not be, but everyone says like my dachshund just wants to lay on the couch and sleep like all day. Like
he's like a cat.
Yes, which is what I want. I want a dog to just love me all of the time.
He is the sweetest little baby.
I think I'm getting a mini dachshund.
Honestly, do it. They don't require a lot of walking because their legs are so small. So they only have to walk like 3 feet before they get tired. And then they're just like, I'm ready to head on back. And you're like, great. Because I've dog sit this dog before. Easiest like 3-4 days of my life.
Sam, you're being very dangerous for me right now.
I say, do it.
I think I'm gonna.
Okay, I think you said.
Very soon. Very soon. Brian, if you're listening, tune out.
Oh, no. The other one just came out.
Kitty.
Like, what the hell are you doing? Who are you talking to? There's nobody here.
He's like, what is going on? Where'd these lights come from?
Oh, yeah. They're probably like really freaked out by the setup.
Oh, no. It's okay. They'll get used to it. Every week on Unsolicited.
Every week. Cat updates. Dog updates, cat updates.
Ooh, speaking of animal updates, I don't know how this is speaking of, but I just need an update on something. I caught a glimpse of a certain book in a Snapchat of yours. Are you reading A Court of Thorns and Roses right now?
I am.
How far are you in?
I'm probably about 150 pages in.
Okay, what are your thoughts initially?
It's starting to pick up a little bit, but I have to say it was slow. But so many people told me, including you, said it was going to be slow.
Yes.
And then to just muscle through it. So I got through it, and I think I read the first like 100 pages in like a sitting because I was like, I need to just get through this. And then, but now it's starting to like more things are starting to happen. So I'm very excited. So it's going good. I only have the first 2 books though. So I have to go and get, how many are there? 5. So I have to get the other 3. But Kat, my friend, got for me for Christmas. And so the first 2 books I have in my possession, but I'll have to somehow obtain 3, 4, 5. And I know you're flying through it.
I'm like halfway through the 3rd one now, which is like 700 pages.
Those are some big books.
No, I'm pretty sure, I think book 2, A Court of Mist and Fury, is like 640 pages. And then this one's 703. And then the 4th is like a little novella. It's like 200 pages. It's short.
Easy.
Some people like didn't even read it. I'm going to, but I feel like you have to.
Why would you skip it?
Right?
That seems silly.
But apparently it's just like cutesy, short, quick, easy read. So that's number 4. And then the 5th book is like almost 800 pages or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a journey.
It's a journey.
That
I was just saying to Spencer, I was like, because Brian the other night made a point to me, because you know how we all be like, I want to read 20 books in a year.
Yes.
Like,
That's my new goal is 15. We'll see.
That's a great goal. Here, I'll tell this in a second. But Brian said, he was like, I feel like, especially after seeing these books, he was like, why don't you say, like, I want to read 10,000 pages this year? Like, kind of thing. He's like, because every book is like different. And I was like, that's a very good point. However,
yeah, go ahead.
I still just like the finishing a book feeling.
Yeah, for sure. But that's a smart
Right?
concept though, because even if you've only read 5 books, if 5 books are 5,000 pages, like
exactly.
you
And
know?
like last year, I was so upset because last year I initially had my goal at 30. And I think it was like October, I was like, it's knocking down to 20 because I'm not going to get there. And so I think I read 22 books last year.
Pretty good.
But yeah, like 2 of them, like I read It, which was 1,100 pages.
Yeah.
So that's like, then that's what Brian was saying. He was like, because I was so upset I wasn't going to hit my initial goal of 30. And he was like, if you break it up, that's 4 or 5 books right there that you read in one. So he was like, go by pages, but I just can't.
It's a good thought there.
It is.
Brian.
It's a very good thought.
Very good thought, but I agree. It's the idea of like sitting there, and and I think you're the same way. I'm very much into having the physical book. I know it seems so much more logical to have a Kindle or a Nook or whatever, but like I love the idea of like holding and opening a book and then like shutting it when you're finished and you're like, I did it, like it's very satisfying.
No, and I had a Kindle at one point when I was younger, and I really tried. However, for me, and like this is very medicated ADHD of me, but like the thought of it being being like not electric, but like technology, like my reading is like my computer's closed, it's no screen time, like, and I know that's not the case, but for some reason it feels that way, and my eyes glaze over. Like I don't know, like I can't read on screens. Like I can't read like long like in school. If they said like read this 6-page thing and they sent it to you as a PDF, I would print it out because I literally could not read the pages on the computer. So for some reason, the Kindle gives me the same vibe, but I would love it is, and books are cheaper on there. You can buy them immediately. You can have them the second you need them. Like it's so easy to travel with. Like it's so much more convenient. I just can't make the switch.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you. And I've seen people reading at the beach too. I'm like, that looks so much more comfortable than digging out a boob hole in the sand and laying on your stomach and like and like sitting there with your book and like having to figure out how to hold it open, and like if you're not in the straight middle of the book and you have like more on one side, you're just like, oh, this is so difficult to read. But like the beach is the place to read your book.
No, literally.
So that I would be the only thing that would be like, I would consider it. But otherwise, for the rest of it, I love sitting there like all tucked up with my physical book.
I do too. I love paperbacks. But also, have you seen the Kindle girlies that have got it down to a science? Are you on Book Talk at all?
I don't think so. I get some things, but I don't think I'm fully on Book Talk yet.
I have seen these Kindle ladies, and I don't want this. I'm not a Kindle lady, but I hold the utmost respect for this select group of Kindle ladies. Oh my God. They have this stand that attaches to their bed. So their Kindle like is attached to their bed on a hook and like is floating. So they can just lay down and read. And I saw that and I was like, but that's got to be so annoying when you have to click the next page. No, the stand comes with a Bluetooth button that you just lay in bed and click, and it turns the pages for you. And they wrap themselves in a blanket. And I'm like, that looks like the comfiest position you could ever be in your entire life.
Wait a second, though.
Right? Right.
That sounds incredible.
Right? I'm going to send it as soon as we get off. I'm going to link you to one of these videos.
And you know what I've been considering? Like, genuinely considering buying? The glasses that have the mirrors in them, so you can just lay down straight, and then they, like, reflect forward so that you could just, like, lay back. Because my neck is killing me. I, like, literally
True.
was looking at chiropractors today. Not even joking, because I was like,
Also,
"I'm dying."
Also, because we work in social media, there's this new thing. I just read an article about it. It's called tech neck.
Yeah.
And from the way that we sit at desks and have to look at our phone, like our neck is staying at like the worst position possible.
I keep thinking I'm, like, developing a hump. Like,
No, yes.
I keep doing this,
Are we?
pressing it down, and I'm like, "I don't know if this is a bone or if I'm developing a hump."
No, okay. If we both feel it, then it has to be a bone, right?
I mean, we've been doing a lot of the same stuff, Jordyn,
Oh
but at the same
no.
time.
Or we just both developed a hump.
You're just gonna see us 20 years from now, Unsolicited with Sam and Jordyn, we're gonna be like, "Welcome back, everybody."
The
All, like,
hump.
hunched over.
And our voice is gonna drop 7
Yeah.
octaves.
Yes, 'cause then we become a gargoyle at that point, you can't really undo that.
Oh my god, I love it.
Well, I think we usually do our fun little intros, but we have been chatting for 20 minutes. I think it's time to get into some of our meat and potatoes of the episode.
Absolutely.
All right, let's rip the Band-Aid off, shall we? As you said earlier, I just want you to just use this as a ventilation session. Get it all out there. Your Eagles lost, but you don't have to worry about them anymore.
Yeah, it really hurts. However, like I texted Sam, I'm pretty sure it was the morning after. We did not text the night of the game.
I
Because
I was just like, "No."
I knew this was a very big night for Sam as a Baker Mayfield lover, and I didn't want to take anything away from that because
Yeah.
I'll give Baker credit. Popped off. Unbelievable. Granted, I think we gave up, but he was unbelievable that night. Like you can't knock that. And I knew Sam was relishing in every second of it, and I didn't want to take away and be mean
I was
because
holding on
I
to
was
the moment.
hurting. So me and Sam texted the next day, and I think the best way to put it is I went into that game. Obviously, I was like, oh, we're gonna win. But there was a part of my brain all week that was like, the Eagles are losing. Your season will be over. And like I was fully prepared. Like especially after the first quarter, I knew. Like once I saw our play, I was like, this is the same thing we've seen for the last 5 weeks. Like they're not going to get it done. And the Bucks were like having the time of their lives out there. So
At home too, cannons
yeah.
going off, yeah.
So I knew very early on. However, I'm really not pissed about our season ending. Like we went to the Super Bowl last year. I don't think it's Jalen Hurts. I think we had really, really bad coordinators this year that didn't know how to play call. Then we switched defensive coordinators in the middle of the year, which I think was like the nail in the coffin. So I think overall internally, we were a hot mess. I still think talent-wise, we have all the talent in the world. And once we get some new people in, we're going to be fine. However, what is tearing me up inside is the fact that we have a lot of vets on this team. One in particular that is ripping me to shreds right now, and that is the one and only Jason Kelce. And I don't want to take away from Lane Johnson, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, like all these other vets that are older and could also be at the end of their career because I don't want to lose any of them. However, Jason Kelce just holds such a place, not in like this isn't a me thing. Like he is the city of Philadelphia. Like he encompasses everything that we are. He's been loyal to us and gone above and beyond for us since day one. Did you see the tweet? I didn't even know this until today. When the Eagles initially drafted him, they spelled his name wrong in the tweet announcing that they drafted him. They spelled it Kelsey.
No.
Yes. And that's how much like Jason Kelce was not, no one expected him to be Jason Kelce.
Mhm.
But he's one of the best to ever play the game. To have a center get this much recognition and be known league wide, you have to be special, and he is. And I'm still hoping that there's a chance he pulls a Brady and we do see him for one more year, but I'm gonna miss him no matter what. I literally texted Spencer. I was like, I want to get 62 tattooed on me right now.
Oh my gosh. Well, I honestly, Jason Kelce didn't matter what team he was on. Like, I love the man. I really do. And this was even pre-Swift, like people
Yep.
adored Jason Kelce because he was just so good at what he did. I loved the story. I saw it today, and I watched New Heights like live today because I wanted to see it, which he did say he has not officially retired yet.
Right? That's what kept me. But then he started like nearly crying. So I was like,
Oh yeah, he was like holding it together, and Travis was just like, "Fuck yeah, man!" And I
Yeah.
was just like, "That's some brotherly love right there." But nonetheless, Jason Kelce he just seems like a gem. He really does, and like he will be missed.
He will.
He will be missed. Oh, but what I was gonna say real quick was the fact that the story is every time they've done the tush push as he's going forward, he goes, "Fuck my life,"
Yes.
and I think that's hilarious.
No, he really is. He really is an icon. And I'm hoping that he takes some time to just like do the podcast, hang out with his family, like take the time that he deserves. But I'm hoping at some point he ends up in the Philadelphia Eagles coaching staff, and whether it's like an O-line coach, some sort of offensive coach, like even if he's just like a players guy. But I'm hoping he ends up working with the organization in some way.
I keep looking away from you. I'm still listening, but the cats have found some of the noisiest toys, and I just keep going in and out of mute. And now they just charged each other. I don't know if you guys can hear it in the background.
No, your
They-
mic is doing the job.
Yeah, I guess my mic is, good mic. But
Good mic.
but yeah, I
actually
literally
just heard
keep
one
looking at them.
tinkle.
Well, Ollie has to wear a bell because I need to know where he's at all times. He's a wild card. But yeah, I don't know if you can hear them running. Yes. And now I'm like, dang, should have just left this all at my parents' house. It's like so much easier for me to just sit here, but like, dang, and Michael's not here to like corral them. Well, if you see me looking away, I'm still listening. I'm just giving them evil eyes.
No, I knew that you were on cat mom duty. It is totally okay.
But yes, Jason Kelce, he will be missed again, not official, but I assume with the tears and the stories coming out, it's pretty official. But overall, they call it Super Wild Card Weekend. This was a super freaking wild card weekend.
Oh,
Starting
yeah.
off with the Texans, I was like, okay. Incredible. I think that this Texans-Ravens matchup that's about to happen is going to be such a stellar game. I'm so excited. They are just incredible.
I am going to be so overstimulated, and you know how much I love Lamar Jackson. There's a couple NFL quarterbacks that I really have like defended, and Sam knows this. Lamar Jackson is one of them. Tua is one of them. CJ Stroud is his jersey is going to be under the tree for me next Christmas and continue on my tradition because I am so fucking in awe of him. Like I literally said to Brian, I was like, CJ Stroud is a future Hall of Famer. And Brian was like, he hasn't even finished his rookie season yet. And I was like, I don't care. Like we've gotten good quarterbacks out of the draft. CJ Stroud is the first quarterback in a couple of years to like genuinely take my breath away.
He's just so good.
So good. And we were talking about that game before. We were like, oh, like we think this is going to be one of the best matchups, but weren't we both taking the Browns?
We both took the Browns.
We were like, Joe Flacco has that veteran experience. The NFL playoffs are very different. Like the rate of play is so much quicker and everyone is so much more like on edge. So I was like, that's really tough for a rookie quarterback. CJ Stroud was like, no, it's not.
Yeah, no, like everything you just said is completely true though, because we've seen other guys come in and it not work. But like CJ Stroud, I don't know if it's D'Amico. I don't know but like he doesn't even have like weapons or like they are a very mid in terms of just like on paper roster team. But CJ Stroud is just killing the game. Made Joe Flacco look like an old man. Super sad about that, actually. I was like, is this the last time we're going to see Joe Flacco in the playoffs? Like, we might not ever see Joe Flacco again.
He was probably like, all right, I've had enough.
I would be. I'd be like, cool.
I can't
I
believe
came
he
back, got
came
my
back.
fame, had my Thursday night game. Goodbye.
Yeah. But no, really, really unbelievable to watch. And I said it exactly as you were just saying, like really, really mid roster. Prior to the season, when I was doing my preseason like division predictions, I was like, CJ Stroud's going to be great. I think the Texans had a great draft. They did everything right, but they're still 1 or 2 seasons away from being like real contenders.
Mm-hmm.
Silly
No.
me. No, they're not. You don't need a great roster when you have CJ Stroud.
Apparently not. And imagine if they get good, like, star players on that team. They're going to be unstoppable. They're going to be the team everyone thought Deshaun Watson was going to make them.
Right? Boom. And I think they're going to get T. Higgins.
Oh my God. I'm
I
so excited for this off season. I know we're in the middle of playoffs, but like, man, do we love the off season.
Me and Sam love the off season. We eat up every article, like every headline. It could be like, oh, there's 0 chance of this happening, but and me and Sam will talk about it for a week straight.
Because at that point too, we have like very little football to go off of. So like the second one thing happens, we're like, we must latch on to this. Like when like it was like really quick, like back-to-back things. I remember one off season, it was like Baker Mayfield went to the Panthers and everybody was like, wow. And then it was just like, no. Zach Wilson fucked his mom's friend. And everybody was like, oh! And then they just talked about that for like a week and a half, like 10 days. We were just talking about like a little bit of Baker Mayfield, but mostly Zach Wilson.
No, literally. And do you remember when we were working with James and something would happen and he would just be like, James, we love you so much. We would be like freaking out. And it would be like the most like run-of-the-mill player going from like one average team to another average team. Me and Sam would be like, oh my God. And James was like, literally, who cares? Like
James has a very logical and like regular approach to football. And
he
just
kept
like
us very like in line because
Yeah.
me and Sam are not logical and we are extremely dramatic.
We were like, this is gonna change everything. It's like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
We actually forget about it by week 7 and then I go, oh my God, he's on this team. Shout out Danny Amendola.
I was gonna say see Exhibit A, Danny Amendola. But yeah, it's hilarious. But CJ Stroud, then the Texans, I'm very excited to see what they end up doing. Because if they look good but still lose to the Ravens, like that's a good season in my book.
Without a doubt.
You know
I
what,
think
you know what I'm
even
saying?
if they get blown out by the Ravens, it's still a great season because we all know how good the Ravens are this year. So like the fact that CJ Stroud could get this mid Texans team in his rookie season to the divisional round, huge. You're playing the 1 seed. You're playing Lamar Jackson in an MVP season. But then imagine, let's just talk about this for a second. What if the Texans beat the Ravens?
Honestly,
then what do we do?
It's not an impossible thing, though.
It's not.
We've seen guys come into this divisional round after having that week off, first seed.
We saw Lamar Jackson literally do that 3 years ago.
Lamar Jackson, we have yet to see him perform at least well in the playoffs.
He has 1 playoff win.
But like
you're right, but you're right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
It's just I mean, I feel like this might be different. I feel like we are dealing with a more mature and overall better Lamar Jackson than what we had 3 years ago. But at the same time, Texans defense is pretty damn good. I freaking love Will Anderson. I love that man. Incredible human being, incredible player. Just overall, I just love watching them.
I just love the Texans.
I love who would have thought? Who would have thought? They weren't even on my radar. Even after CJ Stroud got drafted. I was like, okay.
I was obsessed with CJ Stroud, but I wasn't actually considering them a good team at all this year. And
here they are, division winners in the divisional round, going up against Lamar Jackson. I just love it.
CJ Stroud. And then also, we got to talk about the Cowboys. The only thing that makes the Eagles sucking a little bit better is the fact that the Cowboys also suck.
Just incredible performance by the Packers. Just want to throw it out there that the Giants beat them in the regular season, but in a Monday night showdown versus Tommy DeVito. But besides the fact, Cowboys looked like trash at home. Incredible. I genuinely was just so I thought there was a chance that, the Packers could like come through, kind of give them the game. Straight up, they were just like, no, they didn't even defer. They won the coin flip. Most people defer. And they were just like, nah, give us the ball. We're scoring on this first drive. And they just marched right on down the field. I loved it. I
Yeah,
loved every
no.
moment of it.
That was one of the best games I watched this season. Absolutely incredible, perfect performance, and it's just so crazy. I'm pretty sure the Cowboys were the only home team to lose in Wild Card Weekend, and
No,
they
the
had
Browns.
the Browns were home too.
Wait, no, they weren't.
No, they weren't.
No, they were in Houston. Oh my God. I'm like, yeah, no, you're right.
No, they weren't because Spencer was in Ohio and they weren't there. Wait, and Bills were home. Chiefs were home.
Bucks
Tampa
were
was home.
Wow.
Lions were home.
Lions were home.
And the Cowboys had like nearly a perfect record at home for the second half of this season. Get home field advantage in the playoffs. Won the NFC East to get the home field advantage. And then lost.
Didn't even help.
I'm sorry. I know I'd have no room to stand on because my team also was eliminated. But here's the difference.
My team wasn't even in the playoffs. It's fine.
It's fine. This is the difference, and this is why I feel okay laughing at the Cowboys. We can both acknowledge that we both sucked this weekend. Like every Eagles fan no Eagles fan is sitting here like, no, we're good. Every Eagles fan is going to tell you we are dog shit right now. But every Eagles fan went into that game like, yeah, we're losing. Like no one felt good. Cowboys fans went into that game thinking easy peasy, we're on our way to the Super Bowl and lost. And that is the difference.
Got to give props to Jordan Love.
Yes.
Looks phenomenal. Aaron
Jordan,
Jones.
I love you.
Aaron Jones is back and better than ever. I think he had a little bit of a wobbly start coming back for a bit there. Yeah. But, I mean, the Packers, they said, Aaron Rodgers who? We have Jordan Love. He's doing fantastic.
This is why I am such a big, and we talk about this, we have this conversation every year around draft time, but this is why I am such a big fan of teams drafting a quarterback that they may not necessarily need this year. Like, it is okay. Some of the best to ever do it, may I remind you, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. Like, all of these guys sat behind someone first. And now you have Jordan Love, who I think if you threw him into a starting NFL role out of the draft, he would have similar results to in between Bryce Young and Justin Fields, which isn't great. But now you have him with 2 years of Aaron Rodgers training under his belt. Like, it makes a difference.
It does. It makes a huge difference, especially when you're behind somebody like Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith, who isn't the best quarterback to play, but is incredibly smart, did the job for the Chiefs, did what he had to do. I mean, for Tom Brady, it was Drew Bledsoe, but like, it's Tom Brady. I think he's the exception there.
Yeah.
But overall, like, especially when you're behind somebody who's going to teach you the right stuff. And I think that that's what the Jets really wanted for Zach Wilson in this circumstance. But that's not going to happen anyway, because apparently they're trading Zach Wilson. So, oh God, we're already talking offseason stuff. We're not even there yet. I keep getting sucked into it. I keep getting sucked into it. But the downfall of the Cowboys, getting back on track here.
Yeah.
The downfall of the Cowboys has been incredible to watch. There's going to be some changes happening. Let me ask you a question. How would you feel as the other leading team in the NFC East right now if Bill Belichick became the coach of the Dallas Cowboys?
feel like I'd be fine
Yeah.
because I don't think it's a great nothing from Bill Belichick, and this isn't even really against his coaching, but I just think the personalities in Dallas would clash so much between him and Jerry Jones. Like, I just don't see it being the right fit. And I feel like adding Belichick would just like the Cowboys are still going to cowboy kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, especially that's a good point because Jerry Jones, obviously owner, GM, and Bill was always been a coach, but definitely has a GM hat. So to
I'm
have
pretty sure he is
two,
their GM and head coach, Bill Belichick. He was.
was he actually their GM?
I think he literally was because
Oh,
remember he said, I don't know for sure, but he literally said he was like, I'd be fine staying the Patriots head coach if someone wants to take over as GM or whatever.
I don't know why I thought he just like kind of took on the duties by himself, but I guess that would be right then. He would be the GM. So imagine two old white men fighting for that GM spot. Could get a little ugly.
Right.
So maybe
And
they should. Maybe they should hire Bill Belichick.
I'm not against it. Watch, this is going to come back to haunt us and like they're going to hire Bill Belichick and he's going to take them to the Super Bowl.
That's like my worst fear.
The Cowboys entering the Super Bowl gives me nightmares.
It really does. It does. I really don't want to see them there.
No.
I really don't. It depends though, unless they're going up against a really good AFC team, and then I'd be like, they're gonna get freaking whacked.
Like, what if it was okay? Well, no, this isn't a great example, but like, say the Chargers get the rebuild they deserve, and they and they start playing. Imagine Justin Herbert beating Dak Prescott into the ground. I'd be fine with.
I'm picturing it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in my dreams later. I miss Justin Herbert.
I do too. I haven't seen him in so long.
We didn't even talk about it. It went so under the radar that he cut his hair. Then I sent it to you and I was like, how did we miss this?
The Chargers were pretty irrelevant this year.
Sad.
Very sad. The Chargers deserve so much better.
They do. They do. They need to tackle those Chiefs to the ground in that division.
All right. So now, do I dare ask you? We're in the divisional round. Both of our teams are out. Do you have a team that you are really pulling for? Like in the end, like you want this team to go to the Super Bowl? Is it the Texans?
No, it's the Bills.
Oh, duh. That was the dumbest thing I could have ever asked you.
No, it's okay. You forgot. We didn't talk about them yet. That's why.
Yeah, no.
They beat the Steelers. So my brother and I were going head to head this weekend. But now my brother also likes the Bills. So now he's just like, okay, now I can just root for the Bills. And I'm like, there you go.
I think it makes it easier because, like, yeah, Steelers got to the playoffs, but like it's not like it was actually their year.
They were never going to stand a chance.
It was just an extra game, which was fun.
I don't know if I'm like getting ahead of myself at all, but like I genuinely feel like the Bills can get to the Super Bowl this year. And I don't know if I'm missing them, but like they're playing Patrick Mahomes at home for the first time in the playoffs.
I love a good Chiefs Bills playoff game.
We're always blessed with it. And it just fills my soul.
Blessed. I can't wait for overtime because that's what we get with them. It's going to be unreal. I'm going to be honest, and it's shitty because it's an AFC team. But you know how I feel about my number 8. I would give my soul. I have my Lamar jersey hanging in my closet. It's going to be worn every weekend now.
Oh my God, what if we have a Bills-Ravens championship?
You would have to come here.
I probably would. Right?
You would have to.
Okay, we'll see what happens this weekend and then we'll discuss. Because we would have to, like, we have gone head to head with each other so many times this year, not just with Giants, Eagles, but like with so many teams of ours.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, we really were rivals a lot this year.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is never like us.
No, it's usually just literally the last 2 weeks of the season because they always put us at the last 2 weeks of the season for whatever reason. And then after that, we're just like, whatever. But we were rivals on Monday as I was rooting for the Bucks. And if this happens, we'll be going head to head again in the championship game.
I will root for so heavily. I will so heavily root for the Bills this weekend, though.
Oh, I really genuinely think they can do it. I do.
Oh my God. And then, damn, I mean, as long as the Chiefs don't go back to the Super Bowl, I really, really don't care. What are your thoughts for the NFC?
Honestly, I mean, I've said, and I have a TikTok to prove it, but like in like July, I said that the 49ers were going to the Super Bowl. And
No, I remember you telling me that.
And yeah, and you got really mad at me.
Of course, because
but like I genuinely was like, I feel like they can do it, and I'll stick by that. I'll say that yeah, they can still do it. Is it going to be easy? No, but if the 49ers don't end up doing it, I'm going to be pulling for the Lions.
Oh yeah, I'm already pulling for the Lions.
I mean, everybody should be pulling for the Lions.
I know.
The true America's team.
Did you see the clips of Lions fans sobbing? Like that's I just love this team and they deserve it so much. And I would love Jordan Love if you can somehow pull off miracle number 2 and cut the 49ers out of the playoff picture, then I would be on top of the world.
Yeah. No, it would be incredible. They deserve it. They deserve everything. Dan Campbell. I mean, the fact that he gave Jared Goff the game ball and was like, no one's more deserving to be a Lion than Jared Goff, beating your old team. And I just had to throw it out there before we finish up here. I can't believe that the Lions fans booed Matt Stafford. I cannot believe that.
That broke my heart. Did you see the jackets that his kids were wearing?
Yes.
Like
it's like Detroit born and then like LA raised or something
like
that.
Yes.
So cute.
Like so cute. And he was a fucking warrior for them. And obviously they didn't get the outcome that they wanted, but he would have given his life for the Lions. He played through so many injuries. He loved it there. It just made me so sad.
I know. And shout out to Kristen Juszczyk for making everybody's jacket this weekend.
Oh my God.
She didn't.
What?
Somebody else made Kelly Stafford's jacket. This girl that I follow on Instagram, but that still looked good too.
No, I want Kristen Juszczyk to get her own line with the NFL so she can start selling them like at least close to retail prices, because I would live in a Jalen Hurts puffer jacket. Are you kidding me?
Stunning. I would love like a vintage jacket, like repurposed.
Yes.
Stunning.
She needs to do it.
She's so good. She's so talented. Hello.
Beyond talented. And I love, we have a furry friend.
He's here. The boy.
The boy.
He just jumped up. Didn't even ask for my permission.
He said, "It's my time to shine."
Mm-hmm.
Are you our guest host? Meow.
But anyway, yes, I'm excited for this weekend. We'll have to see what ends up happening. But we talked a lot of football today.
We talked a lot of football.
I'd love to get into some ugly drama of the pop culture world before we wrap up.
Yes.
Ariana Grande came out with a song called Yes and. Give me your initial thoughts. Give me your initial thoughts on this.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. All right. Thanks so much for listening, guys. This was a great episode.
I really want to, and I get the vibes. And I think in certain scenarios, like when I'm in the gay club in Philly, like, and it comes on, amazing.
But this is just not bad.
Yeah, and it's catchy, but it's just so not my vibe and so not what I'm used to with her. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't even listened to it since the night it came out. Like I've had no inkling to even put it on. And I know it's doing numbers. Like I know people are listening to it, so pop off. She announced today that the album Eternal Sunshine is gonna be coming out on March 8th. And I think the title's a nod to Mac Miller, which I love. But you know, I just don't like it.
Yeah. Apart from it not being her best song that she's made, um there the undertones of basically the everything that happened with her, which was she broke up a family. If we were just gonna throw that out there, the man's woman wasn't even like a month postpartum, right? Like it was like very new. She just had a baby. He was married, and she was just like, "Nah, this is mine." And now she's going, yes, I did do that. And you're like, Ariana,
Yeah.
pardon? Like, maybe let's not take that approach. But I guess we also don't know the other factors of things. I don't know. But overall, I think that this is just a little messy.
I think it's very messy, and especially the line of why do you care so much whose privates I ride?
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, we don't. You just put it out there that you are having sex with a married man who just
Yeah.
had a child. Can you please stop?
You know, I think it was super ballsy. And I think in a sense, I mean, this is what she does. And I think she's gotten away with a lot. And I don't want this to sound like I'm knocking Ariana Grande. Like, I love her music, and I've defended her a lot. But at this point, I feel like it's happened too many times. And like we've had too many of like these kind of songs.
Yeah.
For us to be like, no, you're the problem.
No,
Like,
it's you.
it's you. You're the problem.
Yeah.
It's you.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that the rest of the album has more of like her R&B kind of sound that I really like. But we'll see.
Somebody on TikTok said it sounded like You Can't Stop the Beat from Hairspray.
You can't stop the motion of the ocean on a Saturday night.
Do you see this? Look at this noodle.
I
Just
know.
a wet boiled noodle.
I need
Anyway.
an animal.
He's just like purring. This is just how he's sitting. I'm not even holding any of his limbs.
I literally
can't.
need an animal.
Yesterday. But yeah, when it came out, I was just like, oh no. And I like listened to it one time, and I, like you said, I haven't listened to it since.
No, not
just
one.
Whatever TikTok snippet I hear.
And that's the craziest thing that I literally Googled yesterday is Yes and a flop. And it already has 11 million streams. So people are listening to it.
I'm sure people are also listening to it because of the story behind it.
Yeah.
So.
But because I haven't even heard it in a TikTok. Like it hasn't even come on my For You page.
Oh, really? Oh, it's come up for me.
Oh, really? See, that's why I was like, did anyone listen to this song? Like, because I haven't seen a trend for it, but now that I talked about it, it'll probably come up.
The only trend I've seen are people bashing the song. Like being like, Ariana, what? I have seen like the people like, well, Ariana, what are you doing here? Like that line, and like, but overall, I'm just like, ma'am, now you read the room. Read the room.
You know, I think this little act is getting a little old. I also miss her dark hair. I feel like she looks washed out right now.
It's the eyebrows. But she's trying to encapsulate Glinda. She's trying to encapsulate that blonde vibe, which I understand for marketing purposes, but I don't feel it.
I don't either. Like I just feel like the whole thing, and honestly, like I don't even love like the art for it. Like I'm just not into the vibe right now, which is sad because I normally love Ariana Grande whenever she releases an album and it becomes my entire personality.
Yeah.
But I'm not feeling it. We're being a little bit of harsh critics, so hopefully the album when it comes out, we have some nicer things to say. But as of right now, I am not pleased.
Yeah. I'm not, and I'm a singles Ariana kind of person. I don't normally listen to her music like in full. Like I don't listen to her albums or anything. Like
I
it's
love
whatever singles come out that fucking hit like nobody's business, and I'm like I'm vibing. But this one isn't doing it for me.
No, whenever she releases an album, it becomes my entire personality. And I have loved the last three. Like obsessed. I still have Sweetener obsessions where I will go back and listen to Sweetener and just have a Sweetener day. Loved that album. I remember where I was when I was listening to that album for the first time. And I was just like, like I was driving in LBI with like in a
Ugh.
Jeep with all my windows down. And I was just like, I could conquer the world right now.
I could see how that could be just like a core memory, like
Yes.
a
Yes.
moment.
But,
I love it.
so hopefully better things for the rest of the album.
Well, before we wrap up today, I just have to share some things. I watched Saltburn, which is the movie to be watching right now. Kat came over on Friday and she was like, first of all, she told me about this like a month and a half ago, and I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. And she's like, oh, you will. And I was like, okay. And then it came out and everybody was talking about Jacob Elordi and Barry Cogan or Keegan, however you say his name. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it. I cannot unsee the things that I saw.
That has been everyone's reaction. I have not seen it yet.
I'm not going to spoil anything, and I'm not going to spoil anything for our listeners either, in case you haven't seen it yet. But it is free on Amazon Prime. We didn't pay anything for it. So easy to watch. And also I went in no context. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know where we were. I didn't know when it was taking place. I didn't know anything about this movie other than the fact that Jacob Elordi was in it. Like that was it. This was directed by a woman, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to support that. That's great. I don't know who thought of some of these things, thought of some of these scenes. I was so emotionally disturbed.
Okay.
That I stood for about 15 minutes in the middle of the movie, just like with my hands on my hips, like, what is going on? What is going on? Like, I was just like, I couldn't even wrap my brain around things. So, if you watch it, we will do a full review with spoilers. You don't even know what you're going to get into watching this movie.
I'm going to be honest. So me and Abby, when I went up to New York for her birthday dinner, we were, have you heard about gardening talk?
Gardening talk? Like people gardening?
But like,
Oh, understood.
Gardening.
Gotcha.
So
I gotcha.
TikTok doesn't take the weed. I was trying so hard to not say it.
It was a good
it was a good effort. I failed, but whatever. So me and Abby were doing a lot of gardening that night. So much gardening. And we went to dinner. It was like a 4-course pasta place. We were so full, and then we went dancing and lots of gardening all night long. No brain cells were left. And we were like, let's start Saltburn. And it was 2:30 in the morning at this point. Me and Abby do not stay up past 11 anymore. And we put it on, and it was all these like flashing colors. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the intro?
Like whatever place. I'm sorry. He found my string. Like, I don't like it. Was it actually in the movie or just like the beginning credits?
Like the beginning credits.
Oh, okay.
There was a lot of flashes, and me and Abby were like, oh,
we can't do this.
No, and we immediately shut it off.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because we knew we have to sit down and like be prepared. And literally I looked at her and I was like, is this really how it is? And I don't know why in the moment we were just expecting it to like be like that the whole time. So we were like, get this off the screen right now.
Oh my God. It's not even It's not even like a flashy movie.
I know, but we were
That's hilarious.
no brain cells.
Please watch this
Nothing left.
movie stone cold sober.
Sober? Okay.
I need you to be stone cold sober like I was
You
and
had to, okay.
experience it.
Okay.
Because I was, again, no context. No context. And like the only thing I had heard was that there was a scene with a bathtub. That was it.
Yeah,
And
I've
I
heard
was
about
like,
a drain.
I'm reliving it now.
I'm so sorry.
And
Okay,
it's
I'm gonna
sending
watch
me-
it and then we can do a full spoilers episode.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It was just such a journey. And you'll see too, I was going to talk about, which we really didn't get to today, but I was going to talk about Sabrina Carpenter possibly dating Barry Cogan, who is the main person in this movie.
Oh,
but
Jacob Elordi isn't even the lead?
I mean, they're like co-leads, but like
Okay.
it mostly follows Barry Cogan.
Okay.
But like they are both very important.
Okay.
So, but yeah, no, but I was just like gonna talk about that, but we don't have the time, and maybe we'll go into it next week if you've watched it.
Yes, I'm gonna try. Sam knows I'm terrible at watching things.
She's very bad.
Awful, but I'm gonna try. And this has been on my list for a while, and I want to watch it before I do get a spoiler. Because as of right now, I have no context other than everyone's reactions, which have all been the same. So I need to go see it.
I don't even know if you want to watch it with Brian or if you want to watch it with Spencer or by yourself. I don't know. I don't even know who you would want to watch this
If
with.
you'll watch it by myself and record my reactions,
You can do that too. You can do that too. I kind of wish I was alone watching this because I was like literally, like physically, like moved my body sometimes. It was just, yeah.
I saw one TikTok about a girl who put it on at like a family sleepover.
Oh God.
Oh, by your reaction, I will not be watching it with my mother.
Oh, please don't watch it with your mom. Oh my God. And I know your mom's cool. She's a cool mom. But oh my God, don't watch it with your mom.
Okay, noted. I will not be watching with my mother.
I don't even think I could have been able to make it through with Michael. I think I would have been like, we need to stop.
Oh my God. All right. Well, next week, come back and I will watch it by next week. We can make that happen.
Okay.
So come back next week for our full spoiler session where we both freak out over Saltburn. If you like this episode, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to us over here on the YouTube channel. We are inching closer and closer, but once we get to 300 subs, we are going to be doing another live show, which was a huge hit last time. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Follow us on all of our other socials as well. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at the Unsolicited_podcast. And then over on Twitter at Sam and Jordyn. Find us on audio wherever you get your podcasting platforms. And come back next week for our real Saltburn reactions with spoilers.
Bye.
Bye.